Before picking a live streaming camera, the spec that really matters is how it connects to your setup. Clean HDMI needs a capture card, while UVC webcam mode plugs straight into OBS over USB. That difference changes your total cost and how fast you go live. We'll compare PTZ, mirrorless, and camcorders with that in mind. Let's make it clear. Starting off at number 5, we've got the Canon EOS R100 with the 18-45 kit lens. And right away, I want to be upfront about why it lands here and not higher. For me, this one earns its spot as the entry point into a real interchangeable lens camera for streaming. 24 megapixels on an APS-C sensor is a genuine jump over any webcam or phone you're using right now. Cleaner image, better low light, that natural background blur people actually notice on stream. The Digic 8 processor handles it without drama.
Now, here's where I want to be straight with you about the trade-offs, because they matter for streaming specifically. The 4K has a crop and doesn't use dual-pixel autofocus, so for 4K streaming, this isn't the body to chase. Where it shines is 1080p. At 1080p 60, the dual-pixel autofocus kicks in properly, face and eye detection works, and that's the resolution most streamers are actually broadcasting at anyway. So if your endgame is a clean 1080p stream over HDMI into a capture card, this delivers.
What comes up again and again from buyers is how light and unintimidating it feels. People moving up from a phone or an older Rebel mention they actually use it daily because it's not a brick. For a streamer who also wants a camera that doubles as a travel and still shooter, that portability is real value.
The honest tension? No microphone input. None. So you're committing to an external audio setup through your interface or mixer, which any serious streamer is doing anyway, but worth knowing. The kit lens is also slow at f4.5 to 6.3, fine for a well-lit streaming room, less ideal if your space is dim.
My take? This fits best for someone setting up their first proper streaming rig at 1080p, who wants room to grow into the Canon RF lens system later. You're getting into mirrorless image quality without the deeper price tag. The link is in the description. Moving on to number 4, we've got the Nikon Z30 mirrorless body, and this one earns its slot for a very specific reason. Nikon openly built it for creators and streamers, not as a stills camera with streaming bolted on. The headline for streamers is the connectivity. Plug-and-play UVC webcam mode over USB-C, smooth 1080p 60 straight into OBS without a capture card. If you want to push 4K 30, that goes out over HDMI into your capture device. And the USB-C handles constant power at the same time, so you're not babysitting batteries during a 3-hour stream. For me, what makes this body interesting at this tier is the APS-C sensor paired with the Z-mount. You get that clean, low-light image and natural background separation that immediately reads as real camera on stream. Eye Detect autofocus tracks you reliably, whether you're sitting at the desk or moving around the frame. The flip-out touchscreen plus the red rec light are small touches that tell you Nikon was actually thinking about people who shoot themselves.
Now, the honest tension. There's no in-body stabilization, and that's the trade-off you're signing up for. For tripod streaming, a fixed gaming setup, or a locked vlogging shot, completely irrelevant. For handheld walk and talk, you'll want a stabilized lens or a gimbal. The other thing that comes up a lot in reviews is heat on long continuous 4K takes. Indoors, no airflow, hour-long sessions, the body warms up. At 1080p 60 over USB, which is what most streamers actually broadcast at, this is much less of an issue. Something else worth flagging, the body ships without a lens, so factor a Z-mount lens into your real total cost. The upside is you're buying into a system that scales. Primes, zooms, macros, whatever you grow into. My take? This fits the streamer who wants a stationary, plug-and-play 1080p 60 rig, with room to climb into 4K and Nikon glass over time. Straight up, the UVC mode is what sells it. The link is in the description. Number 3 on the list is the OBSBOT Tail 2. And watch this one, because it plays in a completely different league than the first 2 picks. This isn't a mirrorless body you adapt for streaming, it's a PTZ camera built from the ground up for live production. Pan, tilt, zoom, and that R stands for rotation, meaning it physically flips between landscape and portrait with one button. For anyone running a stream that pushes to TikTok or Shorts at the same time as YouTube, that's a workflow win. The sensor is a 1/1.5-inch CMOS, which is genuinely big for a PTZ. Pair that with 4K at 60 frames per second and 1080p at 120 for slow motion, and the image quality reviewers describe lines up. Clean, cinematic, none of the flat, plasticky look you get from typical conference PTZs. For me, the AI tracking is the headline. Group tracking, single subject lock, double tap to follow a person, animal, or object. If you're doing solo content, talking head, fitness, teaching, DJ sets, you basically get a camera operator who never blinks. Several creators specifically point to it as the camera they actually use for live performance and streaming, and that kind of repeat use means more to me than any spec sheet.
Now, the connectivity is where this thing fully separates from the pack. HDMI, SDI, USB-C, Ethernet with PoE, plus NDI, RTMP, SRT, and Visca. You can drop this straight into a multicam switcher with no protocol bridges, no converter boxes. That's pro grade.
The honest tension, there's no usable internal mic for recording. You're plugging in a mic or a line feed, period. For anyone already running a proper audio chain, that's a non-issue. If you wanted one box that handles everything, factor that in. This one fits best for creators ready to step into multicam, NDI workflows, or auto-tracked solo production. The link is in the description. Number 2 on the list is the Sony ZV-E10, and the reason it sits this high is simple. Sony built it for creators first, and the streaming pipeline reflects that. Single USB-C cable into your computer, no capture card, no driver gymnastics. It shows up as a UVC webcam, and you're live. For a solo streamer who just wants to plug in and go, that's the cleanest workflow on this list. The sensor is 24 megapixel APS-C, and the 4K is oversampled from a 6K readout with full pixel readout. In plain terms, cleaner detail. No smeared pixel binned look that cheaper 4K modes give you. At 1080p 60 for streaming, the image is sharp, and the IAF locks onto your face and stays there. Honestly, the autofocus is the part owners come back to over and over. Walk into frame, lean toward the lens to show a product, focus snaps where it should. Here's a small thing the spec sheet undersells, the built-in 3-capsule directional mic. For a casual stream where you forgot to plug in your shotgun, it actually carries your voice and ducks the room noise. Not a replacement for a proper chain, but a real safety net. Now, the trade-off, and it's a real one. There's no in-body stabilization. For a desk stream, a tripod podcast, a locked gaming setup, completely irrelevant. For walk-and-talk handheld, you'll want a stabilized lens, or the active mode crop. The other thing several owners flag is rolling shutter wobble on fast 4K pans. For sit-down streaming, you'll never see it. My take, if you want the cleanest plug-and-play path from camera to OBS with mirrorless image quality on the other end, this is the pick. The link is in the description. Before we reveal our number 1, be sure to check out the description below for the freshest deals on each of these items. And at number 1, taking the top spot, the Canon EOS R50 mirrorless kit. The reason it lands here over everything else comes down to 2 things, the autofocus and the way the 4K is built. The dual-pixel CMOS AF2 system covers the full frame with 651 zones, with subject detection trained for people, animals, and vehicles. For a streamer, what that means in practice is the focus locks on your face the second you sit down and stays there. You lean forward, you turn, you bring a product into frame, it tracks. No hunting, no breathing, none of the focus drift you sometimes see on cheaper bodies. The 4K is oversampled from 6K and uncropped at 30 frames per second. In plain language, cleaner detail, true field of view, no surprise crop factor messing with your framing. For streamers who downscale to 1080p 60 in OBS, you're feeding the encoder a sharper source. That shows on the broadcast. Pair that with Canon's EOS webcam utility for plug-and-play 1080p over USB, plus clean HDMI for when you want to push 4K into a capture card, and the connectivity story covers both ends. Now the honest tension. The kit lens is the 18-45 at f4.5 to 6.3. Compact, light, fine in a well-lit streaming room. In a dim setup, it's the bottleneck, not the body. The RFS native lens lineup is also still young, so if you want a fast, affordable prime, you're either adapting EF glass or waiting for the catalog to grow. What buyers moving up from older Canon DSLRs come back to again and again is the same pattern. Cleaner image, sharper autofocus, and wireless transfer that genuinely works. For a creator building a streaming rig that doubles as a stills and travel camera, that flexibility carries weight. My take? If you want Canon color science, top-tier subject tracking, and oversampled 4K in a body small enough to live on a desk arm, this earns the top spot. The link is in the description. You can now tell what holds up from what falls short. If you're starting your first 1080p rig on a budget, number 5. If you want plug-and-play UVC straight into OBS, number 2. For multicam, NDI, and AI tracking, number 3. And if you want top-tier autofocus with oversampled 4K, number 1. Updated links in the description. Prices keep moving.